writing in journals for years and years and years. Way back to when I was in 6th grade, I had diaries, and that's what I would do. Get those little 5-year diaries where you have a little like a paragraph on each page of 5 paragraphs, and each year you can go through it 5 years in a row, and that's just kind of keeping track of the newsy things, like Susie came over today and we had a sleepover, and then we talked about boys. But then later on, I got to where I was writing a whole lot about my inner feelings and getting a lot of messages from my guides, and I would write them down. And so I have just stacks and stacks of journals. And so I started reading through them last year or so, and just going through and looking at the messages. And as I'm reading through them, a lot of it was back quite a few years ago when we had a lot of drama going on in the family. And I really didn't like to read that because it kind of put me back into the energy of that. But I was going through it anyway because I wanted to see what messages I had gotten from my guides, and I'd write them down in another place. And so I forced myself to go through that, and it didn't feel good. I didn't like it, but I continued to do it. And then when I got through, what I realized is that how happy I am that we're past all of that. That we had all that happen to us, and we experienced it. We learned a lot from it. We grew from it, and now we are who we are now. So it's all the things that needed to happen. It was important for us to go through that. It wasn't a fun thing. So I'm just grateful that we are past that. And it's similar to going to the movie at a theater. And it turns out to be kind of a really deep, dark movie, the whole theme and the plot of it. And I can remember coming out of those movies and saying to my husband, I'm so glad that we don't live like that. That isn't the frequency where we actually live all the time, and that we are in a whole different environment. And so we're very fortunate. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm reading through all the stuff that we went through and watching things that other people go through, and be so grateful for the life that I have right now. And everything, not everything is fabulous, but I'd say like 95% of my life is really pretty good, and I'm very grateful for that. So I hope you all are also having similar experiences, and if you're not, just understand you're going through it. Whatever you're going through, you're doing it for a reason, so that you can learn and you're going to grow, and when you get to the other side of it, you'll be at a completely different level. And another thing I like is when about these stories about our family and things that we went through, and you can just keep going over and over and over those stories. And so I like to think that now that story is no longer available on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or at the theaters, anywhere on TV. You can't get that story. You can't watch that anymore. So it's not in print. You can't even get access it anymore. So it's time to let go of that story, put it down, you learn from it, and move on and see what your next adventures are. So thanks for checking in, and I hope you guys are doing great. Talk to you later.